The WHO estimates that every 40 seconds, someone in the world is committing suicide. It's highly called a health crisis, but it's also a topic that doesn't get talked about. There is a stigma around suicide, and often people think of those who take their lives as cowards. VOA's Pearson tells us about a woman who has dedicated her life to erasing the stigma and preventing people from ending their lives.
I was 9 when my father took his life. I count that day as the last day of my childhood because from that moment on, I had no sense of security.
Dorothy Paw stands before her father's grave at Arlington Cemetery, a place reserved for war heroes.
It's important to me that people not label those who die by suicide as cowards. We're here at Arlington because my father was brave. He fought in World War II and came home and, raised a family, and I think he just got overwhelmed.
Nearly 50 years later, her life was shaken again.
I lost my son in 2012. This is my favorite picture of Peter because he has the hint of a smile. It's so understated, but he has piercing blue eyes and he's paying attention. He's looking at the world with love, I think.
Every year, some 800,000 people die as a result of suicide, and many more attempt it. The World Health Organization says this translates to one death every 40 seconds. Beyond this, suicide impacts families, societies, and communities.
The ripple effect is enormous. His brothers, his girlfriend, myself, his father. It's a shock that takes years to recover, to find, footing again.
Yet experts say suicide can be prevented if governments create policies to prevent alcohol and drug abuse, make guns safer, reduce the stigma of suicide, and provide support for those suffering from depression and diseases that cause depression.
Suicide is the ultimate stage 4 event for a lot of people who have got serious mental illnesses. And frankly, it's a ultimate stage 4 late stage event for a lot of people with other kinds of chronic diseases as well too, who might not have had a mental illness.
If we think someone may be troubled, ask them outright if they're having thoughts of suicide. It's not a comfortable conversation, but it's a lot more comfortable than a funeral. And that's my hope and my purpose in speaking about suicide, so that people know that it is preventable.
Carol Pearson, VOA News, Washington.